Hello everybody, welcome to an episode of Moe'S Tool Talk. And today I kind of want to examine just a few of the lyrics from Tool, my favorite band. Now I've only chosen one song from each of the full-length studio albums. I'm not including Opiate. I might do a video about that a little later on. And I do in the next week or so want to do another video where I talk about just the lyrics to my favorite album of Lateralus. So I will get into that. But I chose one song from each of the studio albums, and the songs I chose were based on the lyrics had to be more representative of finding yourself, being at peace with yourself, bringing out the human condition of wanting to be a better human being, and so on and so forth. That's what I'm kind of wanting to focus on. I could have picked 2 or 3 songs from each album, but I wanted to just to try to pinpoint one particular song from each of the albums. Now, let's start with, in chronological order, with Undertow, their first full-length album. And I chose my favorite song, which is from that album, which is 4 Degrees. And again, like I was saying, it represents of finding yourself and bringing out the goodness that's in you. And I just not the whole song of the lyrics, it's just a couple of bars from it. So it starts off by going, get up now, free yourself from yourself. And so it starts off with, locked up inside you like the calm beneath castles is a cavern of treasures that no one has been to. Let's go digging, bring it out and then take it back in. You won't do what you like to do. Lay back and let me show you another way. I'll kill what you want me to. Take what's left and eat it. Take all or nothing. Life's just too short to push it away. Now, this is my interpretation and how I saw it, even right from the beginning when I first heard this song, that some people might be bothered by the line, I'll kill what you want me to, then take what's left and eat it. But that's from a survival hunter mentality. I find if you're listening to any lyrics from Maynard James Keenan, you want to take it at its most basic form of going to the lowest common denominator of what is he trying to say. And yeah, it's about doing what you must to survive, to be a better to be a better person, but to live and to experience this life for all its glory and for all what it is. That, life's too short to push it all away. You want to embrace life. You want to embrace that dark or light part of your personality and the aspect of living. That's what I got from it. When you start off by locked up inside you like the calm beneath castles is a cavern of treasures that no one has been to, that you want to go digging in there and bring out the treasures that are inside you, to bring it out and show the world that there's beauty and comfort in being a true full human being, and not to be ashamed of the complete side of yourself, dark or light. It's all necessary of being a full type of human being. That's just the first one I want to go through. Excuse me. Now the next song I want to tackle is from Ænima, and I want to go with the first song on the album of Stinkfist. Now again, it's interpretation. When it comes to interpretation, sometimes if people are looking for the negative, you're going to find it. But I always saw Tool as being a message of positivity. And again, when you're looking at the lyrics, you want to go with the most basic, lowest common denominator, and trying to interpret what Maynard is trying to say. So this one's a little bit longer, but I'll get into it. Is something has to change. Undeniable dilemma. Boredom's not a burden anyone should bear. Constant overstimulation numbs me, but I would not want you any other way. Just not enough. I need more. Nothing seems to satisfy. I said, I don't want it. I just need it to breathe, to feel, to know I'm alive. And that part here is just saying don't numb yourself to whatever, like whether you're going through YouTube Shorts, for example. That can be very hypnotic and numbing, and not you not be able to really take in the meaning behind stuff and everything. That's just a little interpretation that I want to throw in there. Now, he also goes that finger deep within the borderline. Show me that you love me and that we belong together. He's not talking about just one person. He's talking about humanity in general. Show me that you love me. Relax. Turn around and take my hand. Now, some people might get a negative connotation of turn around and take my hand. It's like where you want to shove that thing. But no. He's saying he's talking about a person who has already their back turned to him and saying turn around and give me your hand. And he's not talking about the other way around. No, I never ever really interpreted that in that way. So, and then later on in the song, he comes about saying, there's something kind of sad about the way that things have come to be. Desensitized to everything, what became of subtlety? And how could this mean anything to me if I really don't feel anything at all? And then, very powerfully, he says, I'll keep digging till I feel something. And again, I interpret that as finding the beauty in the mundane, looking for the details, and enriching your life by looking for the details that has meaning instead of just what I consider junk food for the brain. Sometimes the same old every day that has no real meaning is just for entertainment. But it's like when you try to interpret something, find the true meaning behind it instead of just like whatever. It's just the same old. It's like you can waste your time in front of the TV and not be nourished from it. It's being it's finding nourishment from the doldrums of everyday activity, and going out of your comfort zone in order to live a little, to be a better person, and find beauty in the world where you wouldn't think of looking for it. That's just again my interpretation of how I saw this song. Now the next song I want to go through for lyrics is from my favorite album of Lateralus, Tool Lateralus. Yeah, my favorite album of all time since 2001. This has been my favorite album, and it hasn't changed, hasn't diminished in any way, shape, or form. I went through this album so many times that this is actually my 5th copy I've owned of it. Not that's counting the one I also gave to the Trash Talkers. So basically 4 copies that I went through by just ruining it from playing it so often because it was just so meaningful and deep. But the lyrics I want to go through is from Lateralus, which is again about the spirituality, about being at one with yourself, and also opening your mind to other possibilities. So that we're overthinking, overanalyzing. It separates the body from the mind, weathering our intuition, leaving opportunities behind. To feel my will, to feel this moment, urging me to cross the line, reaching out to embrace the random, reaching out to embrace whatever may come. Now, the first time I really got those lyrics into me, it was so heartwarming and so positive. It's such a positive. It's like to open your mind to other possibilities. Again, not to just to be mundane and taking in what I consider again junk food for the brain, but to consider things you would not normally consider, to enrich your lives and making your life better in many fronts. But then he goes on to say later, with my feet upon the ground, I move myself between the sounds and open wide to suck it in. I feel it move across my skin, like, getting goosebumps. You're getting goosebumps from taking in all this beauty and wonder. I'm reaching up and reaching out. I'm reaching for the random or whatever will bewilder me. Whatever will bewilder me. He repeats that twice. And following our will and wind, we may just go where no one's been. We'll ride the spiral until the end, and may just go where no one's been. Spiral out, keep going. And he repeats that. He repeats that to spiral out, to embrace the things you don't know, because it's going to enrich your lives. It's going to make you a better person, regardless of where you came from and what your background is and stuff like that. For me, it's one of the most positive, among others. Again, in the next couple of weeks, when I go into in depth to just the lyrics of this album, and I tackle songs like The Grudge, Patient, Schism, Parabola, and so on, you'll see how this album in particular has such a deep spiritual positive message that I want and love to share. So I'm just going to move on to the next one, and I'm choosing something from now. It's from 10,000 Days. Now, when a few episodes back, when I was talking about my top 15 Tool songs that I wanted to go through, this was not on the list. And again, maybe I should have put that on the list, but when you only have 15 songs to choose out of all their repertoire, which ones do you really choose? Which songs will have the deeper meaning? And yeah, okay, maybe and again, what would I have taken out in order to put this in? But I put right in two for the lyrics. Like I said, I didn't put it in that list, and maybe I should have, and somehow it was a strong contender. And I have also said that every song that I mentioned in those videos, it's 10 out of 10. It's nothing below 10 out of 10. When Tool is your favorite band, there's hardly any songs that become lower than 10 out of 10 in those retrospects. And I may do a ranking when I go through all of the Tool songs, and I'll go, okay, this may be a 7 out of 10, this may be a 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, and so on. That may come in a month or so, but yeah, we'll get to that when the time comes. But talking about right into and those lyrics, he goes by saying, angels on the sideline, baffled and confused, Father blessed them all with reason, and this is what they choose. Monkey killing monkey over pieces of the ground. Silly monkey, give them thumbs, They make a club and beat their brother down. How they survive so misguided is a mystery. And yeah, it's so true. It's so true that we have these gifts, these beautiful gifts of humanity in us to do great things. We have so much potential, but yet repugnant is a creature, talking about us, who would squander the ability to lift an eye to heaven, conscious of his fleeting time here. That we're only here for a short time, and that we squander our gifts and abilities and for what? Into destroying each other? That warring against each other over pieces of the ground? How ridiculous are we if that is our legacy as human beings on this planet? We have such potential to be better than this, to be better than we have been in our history, with all the wars, with all the poverty, of all the starvation, and just we're human. We're human beings, but we could be so much more. We could open ourselves up to a better place, a better humanity. We could learn to live at one with nature. We could live in peace and harmony with each other. I think that is the message of this album. And yeah, when I did my top 15 Tool songs, I should have I should have somehow squeezed that in there somehow. It was such a hard list to make. I knew by choosing, and again, I want to repeat that when I made that list, I was really trying to give an overall relationship with my history with the band, all the way back when Opiate was my favorite album in 1992. This is over 30 years of a history of having Tool as my favorite band. Of course, important songs were going to be left out of that list. I only chose 15. So yeah, it was, and I know a lot of people would disagree with that list, and it would be divisive to some people. And that it's like, you're stupid. You didn't put this song and that song. I want you to actually watch my video at the end of once you're done this video. I'll leave it up here. I'll leave it up there, and it's this what I call the subjectivity of music, and give my point of view and my opinion on how and what I feel music is and should be. But again, it's up to you to decide what you want to believe and feel, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I chose those lyrics from this album because it fits in line with the whole theme of this video of finding a certain peace of mind and spirituality and being a better person. Now the last song I chose to show the lyrics to, and there's not much to it, is from this album of Fear Inoculum. Again, going in chronological order, and I had to again choose what I consider my favorite song from this, because of the drum cam, because of the message. I love it. I love the whole musicality. And some people would say, maybe Descending would probably be a better song, or Tempest would have been a better song. Yes, they are also 10s out of 10s, and they are pretty much equal with Pneuma. But it's the message of Pneuma that really is, again, it's the same idea of being at one and at peace with yourself, and that we are all connected through the breath of, because that's what Pneuma is. It's basically the breath of life. It's the sharing of the life. And it goes, we are spirits bound to this flesh. We go around, 1 foot nailed down, bound to reach out and beyond this flesh. That we have the potential to become more than ourselves. Become Pneuma. We are will and wonder, bound to recall, remember. We are born of one breath. one word. We are all one spark, sun becoming. Just growing as a human being. Again, being more than the sum of your parts. Being more than what you, than what all the yeah. I leave those interpretations to you as you will, to do what you will with them. But this is my point of view. This is how I interpret these lyrics, and all these lyrics have a connection to each other. There is a certain theme that goes throughout every Tool album of of looking at the world, seeing the ugliness that is there, but finding beauty in that ugliness, to finding comfort in your vulnerability, to finding peace of mind in the chaotic turmoils of your brain. That I there's not one single lyric from Tool that I know of that has any real negative connotation. Some people might twist the words around and say, well, no, he's talking about this and talking about that. I had never ever seen any negative aspects to their lyrics. And I can't wait to see the future of their albums and 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 see where they're going in the next album for their lyrics. If they do another album, which I certainly hope they do another album, because this year it marks the 5 years since Fear Inoculum, and they're due this year to make another album. Hopefully, they won't wait another 13 years before they do another one. That was just way too long of a wait. I understand why, but that's way too long of a wait. Now, that is it for me, because if I keep going, I'm going to ramble, and I don't want to ramble in this here. So take the lyrics as you will. I gave you my interpretation, and again, you know me, as always, I'm going to always say this, heartfelt. Please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side, and please, everyone, have a great day, evening, night, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.